Hey, welcome back to Stick Boys Lab. Shall we say Stick Boys Motel Room. So, I'm on the road this week and bored at nights, as sometimes happens. And for quite a few years now, I've been wondering about how terrible the Harbor Freight rock crawler might be. You've probably seen it in the stores or in the catalogs, and they look terrible. And so tonight, just for something to do to pass the time, behold the epicness of it all. Now my assumption is that this is going to be worse than anything you can buy at Walmart and probably even Amazon. So we're going to tear into this thing and see what it'll do and see if we can make any modifications with a fingernail clipper and a cheap screwdriver. Stay tuned. So I pulled it out of the box and here it sits. And got a little color coordination going on here, which is unplanned but still epic. So what do we got here? It's cheap, it's cheesy, it has bad stickers, it has bad design. It has no suspension to speak of, but a little bit of swivelly articulation. It is a motor on axle design, as all good rock crawlers are. And we're going to plop some batteries in here and see what it does. Now I looked on the box and it calls for AA's, so I bought a brick of AA's from Harbor Freight as well. So with the battery boxes, of course, take a Phillips screw that has to come out. Conveniently, I bought a little set of mini screwdrivers along with it, in anticipation of disassembling a few parts here. So out comes the screw and off comes the battery box lid. And the remote has its own deal, same way. Move the screw. So now comes the part where we plop in some terrible cheap batteries, which are going to leak all over the place, and ultimately destroy this here fine piece of craftsmanship. Takes 4 AA's in the truck and 2 AA's in the controller. There's an on-off switch located right up here. We're going to flip that on. And look at that. It spins. Here's your first drive. Digitally proportional? It is not. Steering is, it makes motions that are not straight. That's about all I can say for that. Let's take it out, set up some obstacles, and crawl it over. So I've pulled the screws out of the body and I think that it should come off, and it does, although I have a bit of antenna kind of poking up through here. I'll pull that out. And to my surprise, look, it has actual spring suspension. It does flexy things. That is incredible. The design work that went into this is amazing. You can see here there's a little plastic leaf springy thing that lets this one do its thing. And this end, I'm not sure what's holding it all together. It appears that maybe there's a wire there and then this spring, and that's about it. Maybe some kind of a little jointy thing there. Not much else. The body has these terrible looking stickers on it, so those need to come off. It appears to have an Angry Eyes grill on it, which can only be a bad thing. And It vaguely looks like it might be attempting to be a Jeep of some sort. Although I'm sure there's no copyright infringement on this one at all. So I peeled the stickers off the body, which was really the only thing that made this a rock crawler. So I've done a little trimming on the body here. Here's the side as it comes stock. And here's the other side trimmed. You can see from the pile there, that all came out of the fender flares, mostly right out of here and right out of here. You can see it has more of the proportions of a real vehicle as compared to this side, which is kind of bad. So we'll get out the old knife and carve this side up to match. So now I have both sides trimmed up a little better. And you can see I've got a pile of miscellaneous scrap here. The next thing I'm going to try to do is try to lower the body on the chassis a little bit. If you look here, it's got the orange mounting pegs. These guys. I'm going to cut those down. I might have to cut a little out of the floor here. I'm going to try to lower this down on the chassis a little bit. So I ended up cutting a big hole in the back floor, a drainage hole in the seat, and punched a new antenna hole. Barely noticeable. I think I'll screw it back on. And here it is after its first round of body trimming. You can see how the switch sits, that it's been dropped, probably 3/8 of an inch, half an inch, plus the fender trimming. Still terrible, still drives bad, still has almost no steering, still is way too fast. But well. Hey, welcome back. So that was kind of an interesting adventure. Finally got to see what this Harbor Freight rock crawler thing will do. It's relatively adequate for 15 to 20 bucks with batteries that you pay for it. It was a good time killer sitting here in a motel, and I'll probably pack the thing in my bags and take it home. It has good power for what it is. It doesn't steer at all. The tires are not as terrible as they could be. All in all, I'd say it was mildly successful. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to. And as always, play nice.